Can Xander beat Boots, Roy? He's super confident. He thinks he can do everything Boots can do.
It's yet to be seen. It's like I said, I'm not saying he can't because I've seen Xander, and Xander is.
Boxing Hall of Famer Roy Jones Jr. recently shared his perspective on the upcoming clash between Jaron Boots Ennis and Xander Zayas, giving a measured breakdown of what many are calling one of the most exciting matchups on the calendar. Meanwhile, Floyd Schofield made a much stronger statement, confidently predicting that Zayas would stop Jaron Ennis by knockout. Zayas is widely regarded for his heavy punching power combined with solid technical ability, while Boots Ennis is known for his quick movement, sharp reflexes, and high-level agility inside the ring.
And his eyes going to be fading Boots Ennis, so I'm going to ask him about that.
I got Xander, man. Xander by knockout.
Boots? You got Xander fight? You got Xander's eyes knocking out Boots?
That's my guy. I grew up with Xander, man. Like, we was...
Floyd Schofield Sr. also weighed in on several emerging talents in the sport. He emphasized that although Jaron Ennis is highly regarded for his technical skill set and athleticism, he is not underestimating Xander Zayas. According to him, Zayas has evolved into a fully rounded fighter with strong fundamentals, and his steady progress is turning him into a legitimate danger for anyone at the elite level of the division.
Zayas, kid got Zayas ready too. We've been in the ring with all of them. Everybody. I got footage of him and Zayas traded and everything else. So every champion kid got ready. Damn near around him. So we going with Zayas. Plus Zayas, they knew each other since kids. They've been friends since kids. We've been in about 2 camps with Zayas. Zayas was in the camp with us with Adrian, Broner, and Tank. So it's a small world in the boxing world. They all know each other. Everybody know each other, but Kid and Zayas is friends, so we're going to back him. And he's very skilled. People judge like they judge kids their age. And people see all the fanciness of Ennis, but they don't know that Zayas is skilled with the basics. And basics wins fights. There's a lot of greats that became...
Despite his reputation as one of the sport's most dangerous and explosive talents, Floyd Schofield Sr. suggested that Zayas still possesses the ability to create real difficulties and should not be overlooked. In his assessment, the Puerto Rican champion brings the discipline, calmness, and technical base needed to potentially shock many observers if the bout unfolds under conditions that suit his style.
So I believe that he could pull it off, but it ain't going to be easy. It ain't gonna be easy because Ennis can move. And Zayas don't move a lot, but Zayas could crack. That's what I think they sleeping on. They don't know Zayas could crack. When he really want to fight, he could fight. He could fight. So they could sleep. If they sleep on him, they'll be in trouble. If they don't sleep on him and they put that work and they take this shit like if they fight in Virgil or somebody, they could pull it off. I believe that it will be a good fight. But if they sleep on him, they go, oh, he young. He gonna shock the world. He gonna shock all of them. So I believe that he could pull it off, but it ain't gonna be easy. It ain't gonna be easy because Ennis can move. And Zayas don't move a lot, but Zayas could crack. That's what I think they sleeping on. They don't know Zayas could crack. When he really want to fight, he could fight. He could fight. So they could sleep. If they sleep on him, they'll be in trouble. If they don't sleep on him and they put that work and they take this shit like if they fight in Virgil or somebody, they could pull it off. I believe that it will be a good fight. But if they sleep on him, they go, oh, he young. He gonna shock the world. You're going to shock all of them.
Addressing suggestions that Zayas might gain an advantage from strong Puerto Rican support on fight night, Roy Jones Jr. quickly rejected that notion. From his perspective, the crowd inside the venue has no real impact on the result since no one from the audience is actually competing in the ring. He emphasized that the outcome will come down entirely to how each fighter executes once the opening bell sounds.
What are your thoughts of the fight, and do you think Boots needs to be concerned about the crowd? Does the crowd come into play in an environment like that?
You don't need to worry about the crowd at all. The crowd ain't fighting. Only him and Xander are fighting. It's not like they're gonna have a gang against a gang. Nah, it's just you. You know what I'm saying? When I participated there, I love the Puerto Rican crowd, but I knew most of them will be cheering for Tito. That's cool. That's their man. What you expect them to do? So yeah, they're gonna be cheering for Xander. That's cool. That's their man. What you expect them to do? But they're not fighting you. You only gonna fight him in that ring. You don't know about fighting nobody but him. That's why they got a referee. They got judges. They got security. And you ain't fight me one.
When analyzing the fight more closely, Roy Jones Jr. described Xander Zayas as a gifted young champion who has legitimately earned his position among the division's elite. At the same time, he highlighted Ennis' experience and complete skill set as key elements that could ultimately make the difference. In Jones' view, Boots carries rare natural attributes that cannot be coached, the kind of traits that distinguish top-tier fighters from everyone else in the sport.
When Xander beat Boots, Roy, he's super confident. He thinks he can do everything Boots can do.
You know, it's yet to be seen. You know, it's like I said, I'm not saying he can't, because I've seen Xander, and Xander is pretty good. Intangible wise, I don't know that he can do everything Boots can do, because Boots does have a lot of intangibles that Boots can do. I've seen him do a few more because he's been around a bit longer than Xander.
He also emphasized Ennis' ability to box with control while still possessing real knockout power, which makes him a threat at every stage of a bout. While Roy Jones Jr. recognized Zayas' talent and his status as a proven champion, he noted that trying to apply those abilities against an opponent of Ennis' level introduces an entirely different kind of difficulty.
This guy that knows how to make a adjustment. So that being said, we'll have to see what happens. I don't know who will win the fight. The intangibles do lean toward Boots to me, but Xander's a hell of a fighter, a hell of a champion, and I've seen him in action up close when I had Slava fight him, and he gave Slava a pretty good, you know, he made a good adjustment on Slava and came back and beat Slava, but Slava did hurt him early, but you never can tell. So does Boots have that kind of power? I think so, yes. Does Boots have boxing skills? I know that for a fact. So I think it's going to be just a great fight, and I can't wait to see.
American heavyweight contender Richard Torres Jr. expressed confidence in his former peer's ability to step up when it matters most. While recognizing Jaron Ennis as one of the sport's most complete and dangerous fighters currently competing, he suggested that Zayas is being underestimated and could possess the ring intelligence required to manage the challenge effectively.
I'm Team Xander. You know, I grew up in the amateur thumb, and I think a lot of people are underestimating who Xander is as a fighter. He's a two-belt world champion, and he's a hard worker. He does his thing, and I know Boots is a great fighter, but I really think people are underplaying Xander's.
In his opinion, Zayas offers solid fundamentals and effective ring control that are often overlooked when compared to Ennis' explosive athletic ability and strong reputation. Richard Torres Jr. suggested that although Boots is highly respected across the sport, the fight may not be as one-sided as many fans assume, particularly when factoring in Zayas' discipline and his skill in managing range and timing inside the ring.
Do you think there's anything that he does better than Boots in that ring?
I think Xander's punch output can be a little bit better, and Xander's just ring generalship he can kind of dictate that fight a little bit more. And if he asserts his pressure and asserts his size, I think he's a bigger fighter than Boots as well. Then I think it would be a different fight than.
Boxing legend Shane Mosley pointed to Ennis' versatility as a key element in this matchup, especially his comfort switching stances and creating offense from different angles. He explained that this level of unpredictability could continuously disrupt Zayas' rhythm, forcing him to make constant adjustments and potentially leaving him struggling to solve the puzzle as the fight moves deeper into the later round.
It's going to be a tough fight for him because Boots is actually a big fighter too as well, and has a lot of skills, not just punching power, but he has a lot of boxing skills as well. And he can go from right-handed to left-handed, you know, at any time. So that could be a problem for Xander Zayas. But I think both guys, it's gonna be a hard fight, and I think it'll be a very interesting fight to see what happens. So I'm not really sure the outcome of that.
Yeah.
But I think that
when discussing a potential route to victory for Zayas, Shane Mosley stressed that high activity and consistent output would be crucial. He explained that the challenger cannot allow himself any periods of inactivity because even brief lapses could give Ennis the opening to land decisive, fight-altering punches that very few fighters can absorb. According to Mosley, maintaining relentless pressure and a steady work rate would be key to breaking Boots' rhythm and preventing him from settling into his natural flow.
Well, I think that Xander Zayas will have to be more of a volume puncher, kind of like with, I'm forgetting his name, Fendura.
Yes.
Like Fendura was like a volume puncher. And I think that he has to keep Boots in his, occupied with all the punches and movements and stuff like that. But if he stays there right in front of him, then Boots is going to take his toll on him. But I think that activity for Xander Zayas will be the...
Despite recognizing how challenging the assignment will be, Shane Mosley rejected any suggestion that Zayas lacks experience or readiness. Instead, he noted that Zayas has been performing at an elite level since his teenage years and is now reaching his physical peak. In his assessment, this creates a compelling matchup between two top-tier athletes who are both entering the ring at the height of their abilities, making it one of the most fascinating contests currently in boxing.
I don't think Xander's green, because Xander started off early, like when he was 17. So I'm not gonna give him the green card. I just think that maybe he's at the right age. I think, but if he has all the energy and can kind of like keep activity going. But Boots, the same thing, is very much at his prime and at the top.
Boots Ennis gave credit to the young challenger for being one of the few willing to actually step forward and put pen to paper on the contract. He admitted that while many others chose to avoid the matchup, Zayas has shown he is a true fighter who intends to compete, building anticipation for a high-stakes clash in the ring.
We want to fight whoever, man. It doesn't make a difference. I think that was in the making. I think he's the only one that accepted, take the fight with Boots. You know what I mean? I don't know how it came about, though, but I know Eddie was working to get Boots the fights that he want, you know what I mean? So there was nobody else available at the time because all the other guys had fought already, the ones that we wanted, you know what I mean? So, and then I'm glad my young boy stepped up. He stepped up to the plate, you know what I mean? And it should be a good little fight, like I said. It should be a good fight. He can box. You know what I mean? He's a good fighter, man. You can't take nothing away from him. People talking about this and that.
In a stark warning, Ennis suggested that the boxing world has yet to witness his full potential, arguing that no opponent has ever been capable of truly forcing him to elevate his performance. He implied that Zayas may be the fighter who either brings out that next level or becomes just another name overwhelmed by the same dominant outcome seen with everyone else who has shared the ring with him.
I hope he take Boots to another level, because Boots never went to another level yet. You know what I mean? Then you want to see something. You really want to see something. But if he can't take him to another level, you know what I mean, it's going to be like it.
Jaron Ennis Sr. pushed back against critics and skeptics, stressing that his son's focus remains completely locked in no matter what is being said outside the ring. He brushed off the opinions of those who have never competed themselves, insisting that once the opening bell sounds, all the talk and predictions will mean nothing in the face of what actually happens during the fight.
Nobody, you know what I mean? Boots makes his mind up. So Boots didn't really want to fight that guy that second time around, man. You see what he did the first time, would he? Second time, his mind wasn't really in on it at that time. You know what I mean? He wasn't even in on it at that time. You know what I mean? Because we didn't want to, what the fuck we had to fight him for again? We didn't beat him every round last time. You know what I mean? But I don't, matter of fact, you know what? I don't even pay attention to what people say, man. Some of these guys that's running their mouth never fought a day in their life, never had a street fight, man. So, you know what I mean, let them keep on running their mouth. And then you got all them haters out there, though, you know what I mean? They don't want to see nobody make it anyway, you know what I mean? So that's my words back to them. And then some of them commentate.
Zayas is reportedly undergoing an intense physical overhaul to make sure he is fully prepared to deliver on his promises, pushing himself to his limits with a revamped high-intensity training program aimed at surprising the boxing world. Veteran trainer Robert Garcia has also begun to acknowledge the rising tension around the matchup, suggesting that Zayas' imposing physical build and growing self-belief could be the exact mix required to challenge a champion who has limited experience in this weight division.
Xander's positive about himself, man. He sounds very confident. I talked to him and he's very confident, very positive. So definitely gave him a shot, man. You know, Boots has never been in that division for long. You know, only one fight in one round, so it could make a big difference. Xander's a big boy, man. Xander's a big boy that might be looking to moving up to 160 in the near future. So
Boots Ennis isn't simply ignoring the discussion. He's openly downplaying Zayas' standing in the sport, emphasizing that boxing is built on clear levels of ability. He warned that the young contender is about to experience a harsh lesson inside the ring, suggesting a decisive reality check is on the way once they meet in competition.
Yeah, he took the fight, but if he's so confident, why didn't he take the 55-45 to the winner? That shows right there. Like I said, a great fighter, good fighter, but there's levels, and I'm going to show him why it's levels.
Maybe because I'm giving you the opportunity to 2 belts.
If you believe in yourself, you would have took the 55, 45.
I get what you're saying, but maybe a fight with you and
Despite all the attention on Zayas' physical advantages, Ennis has stayed completely unconvinced, brushing off the hype and suggesting that any difficulty making weight is an early warning sign that will be exposed once the pressure of fight night kicks in.
The fight me. He having a fat camp right now. He trying to lose a bunch of weight, get his weight down. Well, I know what's going on. I know what's going on already, so he be alright. He be alright.
Boots Ennis escalated the mental battle by ridiculing attempts at intimidation, insisting that no level of physical presence or added height will change what he plans to bring once the fight begins. He made it clear that, in his view, none of those factors will be enough to protect Zayas from what he describes as an inevitable storm inside the ring.
He had these platform shoes on. He might be like a little half inch taller than me. But he had like these platform shoes on, so he gave him a little height. But he not taller than me.
Thoughts on that fight?
Look, it's a great fight, and Boots getting those challenges out there. Xander deciding to fight Boots on a very dangerous, challenging fight for himself. You gotta respect, that decision. If the Virgil fight didn't happen, and then Virgil versus Boots is not happening, and Xander stepping in, gotta respect that kid, for being 23 and taking those challenges. You gotta respect that, my pick, I would probably say goes to Boots, because
the legendary trainer further stressed that Boots Ennis is competing on an entirely different level, consistently chasing the toughest possible challenges to strengthen his legacy as a fighter who avoids no one inside the ring. This constant drive for greatness sets up a showdown that could either launch a new superstar or bring a rising career to a sudden and dramatic halt.
He's doing what a real champion does, man. He wants the best challenges out there for him.
Again, as you stated though, you give the advantage to Boots. Why is that?
Well, he's talented. He's a very fast guy, fast fighter, good power also. So I do give him an advantage, but it's close. It's close, and I wouldn't be.
Now, as we bring things to a close, we want to know your opinion. Who do you see coming out on top on June 27th, Jaron Ennis or Xander Zayas? And what makes you think so? Leave your predictions in the comments section below. Make sure to like the video and subscribe for more boxing coverage. Thanks for watching.